let's see, would it be now? It would be number 8 now. They used to have a hole that had a dog leg in it. You can see that green is still there, and they lengthened the hole. And
You like that?
yeah, I like it. The other one was really too easy.
Yes. Yeah.
Anybody could get on that one, and 2 was a par 4, and so it wasn't a very challenging hole. But other than that, I can't really think of anything else, excepting that they moved all the tees up,
Right.
which I wasn't happy with. But
You mentioned a hole-in-one at Mayfield. Did you ever have one out here?
no,
No.
I was close, but I've had birdies there. But and I had a 2 on number 4 one time. I hit my drive on a 5-iron in the hole, so that was fun.
Yeah. Well, that's
But
wonderful. How about ladies' styles on the golf course?
oh my!
They have changed.
When I started to play, we had golf dresses.
Golf dresses.
Yes, and a friend of my husband's had a brother who worked for Serban Company, clothing company, and they made them. And he used to get them for me wholesale, and they were very pretty. They were long. And we wore shorts. We had to wear Bermuda length shorts to the knee. And then skirts came popular, but they had built-in shorts underneath, you know.
Correct.
They used to call them skorts or something like that. Yes. And now we have clam diggers, or the pants that aren't full length.
pants, yes.
Yeah. And other than that, the golf shirts haven't changed all that much.
Okay.
They are prettier than they used to be, I think, a lot of them.
How about changes in equipment?
Lots of changes in the equipment. I started with somebody else's old club, is what I started with. And I played a match with a gal from Shaker Heights one day, hit the ball so far. She's about this tall. So I said something to one of her friends afterwards. Boy, she really. She says she plays with men's clubs. Went home and said, I need men's clubs. Okay. So I've played with men's clubs for about 40 years. And I got a laugh recently because I took a lesson from Tim, and I saw Tom Wojtrovich afterwards next day, and he said, I think, talking to Tim, you really need to get ladies' clubs. He said, I think you could handle those better now. And so I said, thank you. And I went home and thought about it. And I thought, let's see now. My irons is what he wanted me to get, iron. I have a 9-iron that I play with, an 8-iron, a 7-iron, a 6-iron, and a 5-iron. All of those I use if I want to hit a low shot up to the green. It's just a long pitch and run, okay? I don't hit an iron to the green anymore, to speak of. I hit my driver. I have a big driver. I have a great big Bertha 5-wood and 7, and my 9-wood. And I have 2 hybrids. One I hit over the lake, if it's up near the front. The other, or that, I go from that one to the second hybrid to my 9-wood at the back.
Okay.
So I never hit a full iron shot anymore. Come and think of it.
That nice.
Yeah.
Poor Tom.
And I love those hybrids out of the rough. I can get out of the rough anywhere with those. Where it was getting so the rough was so bad, I couldn't get an iron through it. And when the hybrids started showing up, I tried somebody else's and decided would get me out of there. I didn't want to be in there twice. So I might sacrifice some distance, but the ball goes out. They're weighted differently.
Right.
They're heavier than a regular iron. So.
Great.
So you like the advances in the new equipment?
Oh,
then?
sure,
Yeah.
sure. And now the younger girls, they have some club. I don't know what it is. It looks very strange. And they hit the heck out of the ball with that club. I have a big one, but it's, you know, I can't compare because I don't hit the ball as far as I used to. So, but I hit it farther with that than I did the old wooden clubs.
Right.
You know. And
Did you mention you were a past president of the LWGA then?
yeah,
What years were those? Do you
I don't remember.
In the 60s
You have to go down and look at the thing down there. But I did the whole bit, you know. You start on a committee or something, and I was, in fact, I was treasurer twice, and I also audited the books twice. We didn't. We had a little old man down in the lakefront apartment that I used to take him to be audited, and then for 2 years he was gone, and they didn't have anybody to do it. I did it. I don't know who did it after that. And 1 year it really needed auditing. but I was like math, so it was never too hard for me to do that. And then I was, I don't know what all I was, and vice president and president. You know, you move up through the ranks if you still want to do it. I never did want to do it in the district because I thought being with my family was more important, and I didn't want to take. It takes a lot of time to do that,
Yeah.
and so I did not want to do that. And in the early days, something we used to do, we bought all our prizes out at Coulter Shard, way out on the east side. Gates Mills, I think it is out there. And we had a deal with them, 20% off. And if the person who won the prize wanted something different, they could take it back and exchange it. And we did that for a very long time. And then we bought prizes for a while around the west side. And I know I won one from a gift shop in Rocky River, and I wanted to exchange it for something else, and they wanted to charge me the full price. So I called the girl that was chairman here, and she went over there and made the deal. Yeah, and then it got turned into the pro shop. We used to win money for some things too, and of course now it's all in the pro shop. And what I finally did with that was when my daughter came home in September, I just said, go, whatever I have, go in there and spend it on yourself. But I know that's good for the pro shop. But we had some much more interesting prizes when we were doing it ourselves. And
Well, anything else in your notebook that you wanted to cover?
well, I don't know if I can remember anymore anyway. Let's see what I got here.
Yeah, you've done a great job today.
I think during your time frame that you're talking about, you played with just outstanding ladies who played the game by the rules with the
Yes.
etiquette
Yes.
and formality of
Mhm.
golf and
Yeah.
honesty. And you've seen the changes in equipment, which is very interesting, and how it has improved. But the basics of the game is still honor.
And we didn't play so many shotgun starts. And you started on number one. And at team play, especially if you were going over to play in a tournament or something like team play, you could be at the middle or the end of the field, you know, depending on where you stood in the matches, you know, championship or first flight or whatever. So riding together wasn't always easy. And there was a lovely lady at Westwood, Dorothy Kilty, if you ever know Tim Kilty, who had been a champion her early days as a young woman and came here from Minnesota and was always playing in team over there. And one time I was going to be way out on the east side at Beachmont, and we were invited to dinner that night on the east side, and I would have had to drive over to meet Bud and then drive home late at night, which I didn't want to do. So I knew Dorothy was going. I called her and asked, I knew her otherwise somewhat, if I could ride over with her. Now, Dorothy was very serious about her golf. She really liked to drive alone. She really liked to really practice some before she went at Westwood, and she liked to, concentrate on what she was doing. And she said, oh, I will probably be practicing first. And I said, oh, that's all right, I'll just wait for you. And she said, and I don't usually ride with anybody. I said, Dorothy, I'm desperate. I don't want to drive home late at night by myself. And I told her what was happening. Well, finally I said, I will get in the back seat and I will lie down and I won't say anything. So she laughed and finally agreed to drive me over there and back. But I mean, not back. I came back with my husband then. But we were going to be way out on the east side somewhere. And I drove around here, but I wasn't into drive unless it was a golf course. I knew how to get there.
There you go.
As if I used to say, Jane doesn't know the east side unless she's going to play golf.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your time and reminiscing today.
Well, you're very welcome.
Had a
I'm
great
sure
time.
there's other things I could have remembered, but it's been a long time from some of them.
Well, we thank you very much
Well,
for your contribution.
And
to the
thank
cause
you.
In this interview. This interview will be one of many that we plan to put together to be used for the 100th anniversary of the club.
I wondered what you were going to do with these.
This is now the database for.
Am I going to be embarrassed?
No, somebody who will look into that, where they will review all, taking the facts, figures, comments, and quotes to make up a.
I like that idea better than it all being individual. I wondered about how that was going to go.
Yeah, and so that's the reason that David and I and the memorabilia committee realized, and as I mentioned to you, the people who have been on the discs right now have been Bud Stewart, Bernie, Lott, Boynton, Harrison, Bernie Harrison, yourself, Doug Miller. We still have two more coming up. That's Warren Vodak and John Packel.
Well, I'm very much more comfortable thinking about that's the way it's going to be than just sitting here doing this.
No,
But we would also like to present you and your family with a copy of what we've done today.
Oh, we'd love to have. My daughter would love that.
Right.
Yeah.
Would you like 2, 3, 4, or?
Well, she's going to get mine eventually.
Okay,
So.
I'll make at least 2 for you. And
Okay.
I keep a file copy. If ever you want more, we can get those for you.
Oh, thank
Yes.
you. Well, I don't have anybody else in my family I think that would be really interested.
Okay.
We'll play it for all our friends who come over.
There you go. Well, good.
All right.
Oh,
Well,
that's
thank
nice.
you again so much.
Well, you're
Thank
welcome.
you. Thank you, Jane.
I take it home and wash it.
No, that's fine. Thank you. Thank you.
One
Take
more
care.
thing before you get up.
Yeah,
You
I'll take your-
mentioned that you wore some special accessories today.
Oh.
Can you tell us what those are?
Oh, I didn't think about telling that.
Yeah.
Well, what I wore today was I wore my husband's rings. I wore a bracelet my daughter gave me, and I have a pin on that was for my son.
It's
And,
very
uh,
nice.
Memorabilia of the family. It's
You know,
everything.
I was trying to find something for him today because I don't have much left anymore. But I had a bracelet one time that Bud had brought me from Mexico, and it was silver, and Michael had given me a little golf ball charm one time, and I put it together, and I lost it. And it was the only thing I had, actually, that, thought would have been nice to wear today.
Exactly.
But I found this. We always called Michael our clown. So that's a little clown.
Right. Well, family is number one. Golf can be number two.
You bet.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I used to tell the girls when they get upset about their golf game, there's a lot of guys working in the steel mill today that would give anything to be out here playing bad golf,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Exactly.